Okay, I'm going to walk you through how to set up an assignment for a new submission area. There it is there, or under activities, assignment. Um, I'm hoping to keep this as short as possible. I doubt it. Okay, so obviously a name that the students click on, or if you're going to use stealth, then the name doesn't matter as much, but you still need to give it something that's reasonably understandable. Description, depending on how you set this up, for me, I would like to see, the font size, the line spacing, that kind of information, the naming convention, as opposed to the actual what the students need to do. They shouldn't need to come into this area where they submit until they're actually ready to submit. Now, in the new Moodle, you can add activity instructions like font size. It's the same thing as I was talking about in here, which is not available to students until they click the submit button. But I can't see why that's a good idea. Okay, so additional files, you can put the PowerPoint, the PDF, whatever you put the information in, you can put it there. If you look down at the bottom, there's a thing called template, something like that. My recommendation, it's just an idea, I'm stealing from someone else, is that you have a Word document that the students that has the instructions there and then a place for them to write, so then they can be typing in that Word document. I do think that's possibly the easiest way of doing it. Allow submissions from, and then always show description. If you allow submissions from the 10th, but you always show the description, that means that the information that you write in here in the description is always available for the students to see, even though they can't submit. That way they can get ahead and get on with their assignment. Okay, due date, they can submit after the due date, but it will be marked in red. Cutoff date means they can no longer submit, and remind me to grade by you get an email. Grading. Now we've got two types. We've got online text and we have file submissions. Online text, the students type and they have a box just like you've been editing stuff in, and a file submission is they get to submit things. You can put a word limit that goes with the online text. Remember that includes the references or bibliography. You can reduce the number of files that students submit down to 1 perhaps, and you can change the size here depending on what your institution allows. And you can choose the accepted file types. I'll let you play with that. I want to try and keep this short. Feedback types. Feedback comments apply to both. Annotate PDF. I've never found anybody who's found this particularly useful. Up to you. Offline grading worksheet means that you download like an Excel spreadsheet, add information like a comment in it, and then upload it again. It can be useful, but takes a little bit of practice. And feedback files, I always check this one so that I can download, and I keep talking about this, I'm sorry, download everything and then upload at the same time to all the students at the same time. Comment in line, yes. This is for the online text. So you have a copy to look at and a copy in front of you, and you can type inside the students whatever they've written or added. Submission settings requires students to click the submit button. Has been problems in the past. They've submitted, it's been a draft, the staff can't see it, but the students think that they have submitted. Require the students accept the submission statement. I always put this at yes. Your institution can change this, and you might want to put things like it's all my own work, APA 7th edition, all that kind of stuff. Additional attempts, up to you. You can change those manually or automatically until you pass them. Group submissions, if you want students to submit in groups, make sure the groups are set up first, and then depending on how you want that, yes, and then you require a group submission. Sometimes it means that one person submits and everyone is done, or it means that one person submits, then another person can submit if they want to, and then you're marking two things, and it can be problematic. Try, test. Please read what I've written. Notifications, careful with this. People usually put this as no. When you're marking individuals, you can actually click it and say, notify the student. Think about other people in your course, the grade, of course, if you want to do this. Most people seem to do points for 100 and then use their calculators and change it. However, it makes sense to me that if you're waiting for this assignment is 30%, write 30 here. Okay. Anonymous submissions is one that people often play with. You can change that to yes, and it just means that you can't see who submitted. However, I would suggest you have students write their names on their assignments in case you decide to print them out, drop them down the stairs, and then you need to put them back together again. Those other things I'm leaving, it just becomes very complicated. Common module settings, restrict access, tags, and competencies are common to everything we do, and I haven't really touched them in this course. Thing that I will be talking about in Unit 9 is activity completion. For an assignment, if it's high stakes, I would suggest you do not indicate activity completion, so there's nothing there. Students don't have to click anything, and there's nothing to do with the checklists. Again, Lesson 9. Show activity is complete when conditions are met. Students must make a submission, must receive a passing grade, receive a grade. These are all things for the checklist that we cover in Lesson 9. A lot there. Again, I want to reiterate, I do suggest you try this with students in your courses before you have an actual submission. Even if they're just practicing to submit using the naming convention, or something about APA or something. I don't know, something small, easy to do. Just do it in class. So then you can see what they do, you can see what happens, and you can give it a try without any pressure. Well, some pressure, but without too much stress. I know that's a lot. I do apologize. Don't forget, online file submission, or students can submit nothing and you just give them feedback. Hope that helps.